Now tuned into something super tight. Puffin' something sticky, nigga, I roll through the light. Need to hear something real just to get me through the night. I'm looking for them jackets cause I know they looking shy. Know I'ma get some game, tuned in with super tight, yeah. I get the low love from Big Bobo, from the front seat, not no photos.
Already, baby, what it do? It's your big dog, Bobo Luciano. Want to thank y'all again for tuning in to Super Tight TV. We back up your back going smack, smack, smack. Just like that. And I know it feel good to you because it feel good to me. Man, I appreciate y'all. Today, we're doing another episode without Jazzy K, you know, and I apologize, but, you know, we got to do what it do. We got to keep rolling. Ain't that right, Kenny? Got to keep rolling. Today, I got a special guest, man, and this gentleman caught a flight. I said he came down from Compton. He quickly corrected me.
Bompton, California.
The man said, I came from Bompton, California, man.
Blacktown.
I respect that. This is the oldest living Piru. Active Piru in the world.
The whole world.
In the whole world, Craig. You heard what I said? Now check this out. This man is a community activist. He is really out there trying to make some changes in the black community. And I've been following his movement this year and watching a few interviews. And I really appreciate what he's doing and some of the words of wisdom, just, you know, witnessing to our culture. You know what I mean? Some of his past life and just, you know, testifying to us and letting us know, you know, he's already done that. So we don't have to go do that. And maybe we can learn from that. And today I want to introduce to y'all, the man really don't need no introduction. It's Ayatollah Marv is in the building. Right. I just want to make sure I said it right. Right. I just want to make sure I said it right. Hey, Marv, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm still here. They ain't called me yet.
No, for real.
Right.
Goose him up some. He maxed out. There you go. So, question. You remember the Apollo? You remember the Apollo Showtime at the Apollo?
Oh, yes, sir.
The TV show?
Yes, sir.
You remember when Amateur Night came on, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what they do? They used to come out and rub the stump.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's my stump. Hit that star for me.
Stump, the big text.
Hit that star. You're in the state of Texas. I know you might not be a Cowboy fan. That's a Cowboy star, but I need all the positive energy. We don't like negative energy. I meant to talk to you before we got on the air because certain things we're not going to talk about. We're going to make it about you. You know what I'm talking about? And
ain't that much about me. We got to talk about something else.
We're going to talk about something else.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? But
me, I'm not that relevant.
Yeah, you are. You just a humble man.
I'm a realist.
A realist. So we're going to start from the beginning. Act like my audience never, ever seen you before. You know what I'm saying? Act like, you know, they don't know you. I want you to introduce yourself to them. Tell them, you know, we've already kind of let the cat out the bag where you're from. But kind of tell them your name, where you're from, and your upbringing.
They call me Ayatollah Marv. I've been named Marvelous Marv, Young Marv. I grew up on Elm Street in Compton, California. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Already.
We ran Freddy Krueger out of the hood. Well, I grew up with the Minutemen, the Spook Hunters, when Compton was Andy Griffin's Mayberry.
Oh,
and,
okay.
You know, Negroes were in their place,
and
they stayed in their place and just happened to be from Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas to come to California. What they thought was the dream of leaving the South came to be their nightmare of dealing with California.
Now, I'm glad you said that because that's something that I noticed as a child, you know, especially from the East Texas area. A lot of people did migrate to California. I mean, especially Los Angeles. You said in Mississippi. I know they have a lot of Oklahoma. What do you think? Why was it such a bad move for them?
See, people left the South. Black people left the South because of prejudice.
Exactly.
And everybody is allowed to be prejudiced. I don't like stupid niggas.
Me either.
So I stay away from them. You dig what I'm saying? So they came to California. Do you realize California is the West Coast?
Exactly.
Why do they call it Southern California?
I don't know.
Because every peckerwood that didn't want integration out of Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama moved to California and made laws on segregation. And then with the laws they made, they created not prejudice, but racism.
There you go. See, talk on it.
So
no, amen. Stop right there. Because I try to be a wordsmith. I hang on words.
that's right.
There's a huge difference between being prejudiced
And racist.
and racist.
Yes, sir.
Can you, in your words, break down the definition of racism?
On Webster's words, I can break down the
Bam,
definition
there you go.
of racism.
There you go.
Anytime a community or a race of people interfere with your economics, your
Bam.
social, and your mental upbringing, it's racist.
Can black people be racist by that definition?
No, they can't, because we can't afford it.
Thank you.
So that's what, the devil always have you misinterpreted that you're a racist too.
Exactly.
No, I can't be a racist because you control my destiny.
Man, if my wife was here, she'd look at me and give me a high five. She said, boy, you've been saying that for years. There's a difference. Everybody got a little prejudice in them. I might not like you because of your skin is prejudice. It's not racism.
We used to watch movies on TV, news reports when they were marching in Alabama and Mississippi. And we said, man, I don't never want to go back. But all the time we were under the cloak of racism. We didn't even know it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? At least you understood where you stay.
Yes.
The first time when I first got out of prison, I was telling a guy yesterday, he's out of New Orleans. A guy by the name of Joe Louis Sterling was out of New Orleans, and he came to California to kill a man that stole some dope from him. And one day he came up to me and he said, Kenzie, you know what, man? He said, with all y'all in here for murder, I thought Compton was big as China, but it ain't but 10 square miles.
Yes, it's small.
And I'm like, I didn't know that. So he says, and all of y'all are going back. Why do you eat where you shit at?
A shit where you eat at.
Yeah. So he said, man, when I get out of here, I ain't got no parole in New Orleans. You understand me?
I feel you.
And it opened my eyes. And the first time when I got out of prison, I came to Houston, Texas.
Wow.
I came to Houston, Texas.
What year was that?
1977.
Okay. Right after the bicentennial.
And when I got out here, I went to Houston Continental Airport. And when I left the airport, all I seen was trees. Place looked like our Griffin Park. I had never seen so many trees in my life.
Yes.
And when I got to my friend's house, I couldn't even sleep at night. It was too quiet. Wasn't no helicopters, wasn't no shootings.
Oh, yeah.
It was too tranquil.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
And so after I started adjusting, I went from Houston to Beaumont to Baton Rouge to Sweetport to New Orleans to Mobile, Alabama, Biloxi, Mississippi. And I started seeing a whole smooth culture.
What did you think about it?
I realized the fact that prejudice works. If a cracker don't like you in Texas, just stay the hell away from him.
That's it.
But if he like you, if you do anything but kill a white man, he gonna get you out of jail.
Exactly.
That's my nigga.
Yeah. You're right.
I went to jail here in Texas.
What year?
1977.
Damn, you just got here.
And 78
What
and
you do?
79.
What you do? Hustling?
Keeping the crime rate up, selling PCP.
PCP.
You understand me?
Exactly. Angel does.
And I had some attorneys. You ever heard of Percy Foreman?
No, sir.
One of the best attorneys in Texas, Percy Foreman and Racehorse Haynes.
I know Racehorse Haynes. Come on now.
Notables.
Oh, yeah. Racehorse Haynes was the man.
Through him, you ever heard of a man called T. Cullen Davis?
Yes.
I was in jail with T. Cullen Davis.
What?
Yes, sir. I knew T. Cullen Davis.
That's major.
You understand?
That's you blowing my mind.
When he put a contract on the judge.
You blowing my mind.
You understand me? I was right there with T. Cullen when they bailed him out of jail.
Wow. He's dropping shit.
You know what I'm
already.
saying? So I understood what it was. He said, Cancy, you stay in Texas, I'll take care. He owned Austin, Texas.
Yes, he did.
You dig what I'm saying?
I remember that name as coming up in the 70s and early years. T. Cullen Davis.
The judge that he's supposed to put a contract on, when Racehorse and Persephone was trying to get him a bail. The judge said, I think his name was Clark. I can't remember the judge's exact name in 143rd District Court in Houston, Texas, says if they let a man out that tried to kill a judge, I'll retire off the bench. T. Cullen was a good old boy. So they told the judge it was time to retire. T. Cullen, 1979, bailed on a $50 million bail.
Wow.
And ain't been back to prison since for attempted assassination on a judge.
Major.
You dig what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. That's Texas.
So now,
but that's Texas.
I learned through that whole thing, I'm going to be a white man's boy or old thing. I ain't going to never be a man, but I'm going to get a pass.
Yes. I feel you.
I mean,
I feel you.
California, the Indians say white man speak with forked tongue.
Mm-hmm.
You can work all your life in California and you miss a day of work. Well, you may not be able, we'll talk to you when you get back. Well, we don't know about that. We're going to have to lay you off for a while.
For one day.
End up you getting fired.
Oh, yeah.
Because a white man in California have no loyalties to Negroes. None at all in Southern California.
Is it blatant?
Blatant. Well, it's so subliminal. You can't see it. It's blatant.
It's blatant.
Because I live in Compton. Watts, when you go to Beverly Hills, you take your black ass down Wilshire or Beverly Boulevard, the police gonna pull you up. Why you here? It's like going in Texas and back in the 70s, if you was going up Post River Oaks,
yes,
you had a job.
Well, it's an area here in Dallas. You may have heard of it, Highland Park.
Highland Park.
You better not.
Yeah.
You better not be caught over there.
Yeah.
You better be in some type of service uniform, maid uniform, and at one time in my life, I had to shoot straight down in between the tollway and 75 Central Expressway, and I didn't want to go all the way around, so I wanted to take the shortcut.
Yes, sir.
And it was straight down Mockingbird. You know, I had to pass by SMU, and bro, you talking about ass clenched tight every time I went.
Every time.
Oh yeah,
So they make you feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
You have to go to their malls. You have to go to their stores, but they look at you like you stealing something.
Exactly. They had their own police force. They didn't have Dallas police.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's California.
Okay, I feel you now.
So people come there with the dream and end up with the nightmare.
So when you came up, did you come up in a 2-parent household?
Yes, sir.
So mom and dad was there.
My mother graduated from Jackson State University. My father was in the Navy. We had the first 9 houses in Compton, California.
Okay.
I was a beaver cleaver. I had my own room. I never went to the refrigerator and it was empty. Shoes was never run over. Went to Catholic school my first 4 years of school. So
where'd you graduate high school? Where'd you graduate? I
graduated from White High School, Gardena High School.
Gardena.
I got kicked out of Compton and Centennial.
What you doing, fighting?
Being a nigga. A real one.
He's a real one.
A real one.
How many siblings?
2.
You the oldest? Or?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Yes.
Only boy?
No, 2 boys and a girl.
So this is in the 60s.
Yeah.
Mid to late 60s?
From the late 50s to the 60s up.
Okay.
I got busted in 1968, went to prison in 68.
Okay. You don't talk about your cases, right? So we don't have to.
It's public information.
Okay. The first time you went to prison, that was in 1968.
17. Yes,
At 17 years old, what was that case?
Murder robbery.
Murder robbery. Were you? Was the Piru?
No, we were treetops. We had a game and at that time in the city of Compton, we had one neighborhood called the Swamps.
Heard of that?
That was from Enterprise J. You went to Enterprise Junior High School.
Okay.
Then you had Boot Hill, which is Nutty Block now.
Okay.
Nutty Block, they call it Boot Hill because the graveyards was right in their backyard.
Okay.
Then you had our neighborhood was called Treetops.
Is that the neighborhood for old hip hop heads? Was that the neighborhood that DJ Quick made?
They recreated that neighborhood.
Okay. Our
neighborhood was original. They turned cedar blocks.
Gotcha. So do you, in your lifetime, remember before gangbanging? Or was gangbanging always a part when you were?
Well, this gangbanging is on another level.
Okay,
We've
so
always
explain
had gangs.
Explain it.
We had the business in LA. They had the businessmen.
Okay.
They had the Slawsons. They had the Gladiators.
Okay.
They had the Pueblo Bishops. They had the Outlaws. You know, so rebel rousers in Compton. We had our whole neighborhood. Our 10 square miles was against everybody in LA.
Was it about colors back then?
No. It was just neighborhood. Just
I figured that.
Our school fought against Enterprise, fought against Vanguard.
Okay.
When we had football games, your side. When you came on our side, we on Elm Street, we had a bridge that you had to walk across to go downtown.
Okay.
So if you didn't want to walk all the way down Rosecrans and walk up Compton Boulevard, if you come through the bridge, you either had to pay us a quarter or fight somebody.
Got you.
So this
pay the toll.
You had to pay the toll. You know what I'm saying?
Or meet the troll.
So you lined up. If you fought somebody, you had a passing. But if you don't want to fight, every time you come through, bring a quarter, a dime, bring something.
Already. Don't come empty-handed.
You better not.
Already.
You know.
So what do you think? So from my knowledge of gangbanging, in the beginning, of course, it wasn't about violence. Was it more about community activism or?
No, it never was about community.
What was it about? What do you think?
It was about terrorizing the community.
From the beginning.
Their own community.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about that the Crips started to protect their own community.
So would you say more, you say protect, would you say extortion?
Well, they extorted other kids.
That's what I mean. It was an extortion game.
Yeah, when you take somebody's leather coat and you take their tennis shoes or take their shoes, when you could have went to Sears or could have went to J.C. Penney's and took a whole rack of coats.
Yeah.
So you were elected to take some secondhand stuff and do something like, I ain't gonna fight for what's mine.
Exactly.
You understand? That's what made Piru synonymous, because them brothers said, we all live in houses, we ain't in no projects, but we can fight.
Yeah, I feel you.
And just because our people got cars and we have cars, don't mean we ain't gonna gun too.
Piru is actually a street in Compton, right?
The street that it all started from, headquarters.
What year did Piru start? You remember?
Putting them started in 1971, 72.
Gotcha. Okay.
Before that, the Piru boys were the Bournes were really the Piru boys.
Okay.
The Bourne family. Mickey Bourne was the number. He was the man I looked up to.
Okay.
Well, him and Big H. Harold was one of the OGs of Piru too.
Okay.
But, Mick, they was bank robbers in the 60s. Mickey Bourne, Lonnie Hall, Clarence Grandy, and Victor Murphy.
Okay.
And they came through, and I was like 11, 12, and Mick came through one that's 1963, rolled up in a brand new Cadillac.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is that? That's Mick. That's Mickey Blue. So Mickey Blue, yeah, that's Terry's brother. Mick rolls up, got a shark skin suit on, got a Marcel, diamond ring on his pinky finger.
Yeah.
Run up in the house. We over there playing football. Mick comes back, he got a big old satchel like this, and he dumps it out. You probably don't know what bow dollars are. Big $1 bill that's still calling them bow dollars.
Like they used to have a 50-cent piece?
The 50 cent
But the
piece.
dollar piece.
It was the dollar piece.
I remember that, yeah.
Mick dumped him out a pile of them. Get y'all some. We sticking the money in our pockets, man. We like, see, y'all want to see something? Now you got a Cadillac trunk just on. You can put a dead body in the trunk.
Yeah.
He opens, he got a shiffer robe and opened it up, and it's all $100 bills, small faces. I said, this the richest man in the world.
Wow.
I said, whoa, I'm going to be just like him.
You what, 11, 12, you say?
Yeah, I want to be just like him. I said, man, what your brother do? He said, he robbed banks. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do when I grow up.
Already.
That's what I'm going to do. See, the situation is, I told you the transgression of Black people bringing themselves from the South to the New South.
Yes.
They became depressed. I had a man live next door to me named Leroy Cabey. Mr. Cabey was out of Lions and Farmer, Dirty Fifth Ward.
35th Ward,
And he
Texas.
talked about the Fifth Ward. He had caught him case there, and he had to run to California. And he worked for Alcoa 30 years.
Mm.
Every 3 years, he got him a brand new deuce and a quarter, 225 Electro. Friday night, Marvin, come go to the store with me. Go to the store, go to Vito's store. He'd buy him some Jack Daniels Red Label and buy me a Bubble Up and Susie Q.
Yeah.
And sit up and I play the tape. I left my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Yeah, I found my thrill.
On Blueberry Hill.
On Blueberry
And he would
Hill.
tell me about Texas. Tell me about the Fifth Ward. And he would sit there and he'd go back and drink until 11 or 12 o'clock. I'd sneak out and go to the house.
Wow.
About 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd hear him hollering, Ruth! That's his wife. Ruth, come get me, baby. Leroy, I done told you about getting drunk. Fuck you, you black bear. I hate you. And he'd be wrestling and fighting.
Yeah.
And the neighbors called the police. Caldwell and Jackson would come. Two big old white Compton police.
Mm.
Leroy, yes, sir. Don't you be hitting on Ruth. You take your ass in there and go to bed or you going to jail. Yes, sir. And he'd go in there and get on the couch and lay right down because that white man said it.
Mm. So in hindsight,
you so broke, you'll beat your kids and your wife, but you won't beat a white man. So you go down on the front hood, that's where they had all the juke joints, the after hours, that's where the gangsters was.
Mm.
There was one gangster there named Blue, jet black with red ass eyes. And we'd ride out, my mother go to sleep at 8:30. We'd jump on our bicycles and go learn how to do some more cuss words.
Yeah.
We said, and when Blue come up, get your ass, make us go across the street on the other side. Ain't nowhere for no kids. All the time he protected us. We hated it.
Oh, yeah.
And Blue had a straight razor. Nobody, you could tell the death was in this dude's eye. And they had this police out of Newton Street. Newton Street.
Mm-hmm.
Big old white police name. They called him Cigar. He's about 6'6", looked like 300, looked like a big giant to us. And if he stop you and you do something, he'd take his belt on. If you'd fight him, you wouldn't go to jail. You can whoop my ass, you ain't going to jail.
Did you ever see somebody fight him?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Not all the time.
But before.
It's some brothers that, come on, let's do this. Win or lose.
Did you see someone win?
Very few. But now my point is, one night, Blue had this woman, and he was slapping her up, and he knocked her down on the ground, and he started kicking her. And Cigar them rolled up. Cigar said, boy, leave that girl alone. He said, fuck you, Peckerwood. Cigar jumped up out the car, and Blue looked up. Blue was about 5'9".
Yeah.
He looked up at him. So what you gonna do, Peckerwood? Cigar jumped back in the car. And Peckerwood knew death.
Huh. Stared him in the face, huh? That's real.
And I said, damn, I never was like him, but I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not scared of no Peckerwood.
Oh, really?
Don't want to do nothing because he may come see me later.
Yeah.
But it's not a white man on this planet. I don't have no white friends.
Already.
And nobody in my family married to they can't come to the cookouts. If they the undertaker or the rent man, they may get a pass.
Don't trust them. Don't like them.
At all, period.
That's real.
They say, man, Mark, you go to prison. Why you always go to why would I go to prison to work? If I went to work, I'd have got a job at the Jack in the Box.
That's real.
The damn judge send me to jail for punishment. I'm going to the hole, you going to punish me.
Yeah.
You going to feed me, you going to escort me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even understand a dude going to prison. Man, I just need something to do. You should have thought like that before you went to prison.
Before you went to jail. That's ass backwards.
I'm working in the kitchen every day for free. Hardest job in the penitentiary is the kitchen. They wake you up at 4:30 in the morning. to go in there and cook for some niggas that's mad at you if you don't give them what they want. Then you don't get out till 9 o'clock at night. Man, I need something to do. I don't need nothing to do but read, get me, because a man told me a long time ago, no matter what they do to you in the penitentiary, only thing they can't steal from you is knowledge.
That's real.
Get knowledge.
What prison were you in?
Everyone in California.
Everyone. You touched
Damn
them.
near. Every major prison. San Quentin, Soledad, DVI. Last one I was in 1995 was Ironwood State Prison. Pelican Bay.
Pelican Bay.
Yes.
All the ones we've heard of, you've been there.
Adjustment Center of San Quentin, Palm Hall, and Chino. I done touched them all because I go in there to keep the crime rate up.
So you say you were not affiliated with the Piru when you first went in at 17.
It wasn't no such thing. I didn't rob a bank. I robbed it.
That's right, because you said the Pirus didn't come around till 71.
Yeah,
you were in jail when the Pirus.
Right.
Okay, because you said
I was in
prison.
Authority.
So when you got out, what was your first move?
My first move, well, when I was in youth authority, I had a
UA. Okay.
CYA, and I caught a case in a riot in youth authority in 72, and I got found guilty, and they sent me from youth authority to San Quentin.
Okay.
So that's how I got to San Quentin.
Already.
And so when I got to San Quentin, my whole crew, we were all treetops.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to San Quentin, they were all BGF, Black Guerrilla Family.
Oh.
So my crew was Black Guerrilla Family, and our everyday episode was to lay something down, somebody. And
how many members?
in the BGF at the time?
Yeah.
It may have been 500.
Ooh.
Because you had the Southern Cadre, which down south, Compton, San Diego, Long Beach. Then you had the Northern Cadre, San Francisco, Sacramento. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of research. I saw one time you did get a job. You was working at Roscoe's. That was in Compton on Pico.
That's in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. Which that wasn't the one that this last artist got killed at, was it?
No. If he had went there, he'd have still been alive.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You got to understand the perimeters. When in the jungle, there ain't but two things in the jungle, bro. Predator and prey.
It's real.
And if you're not the predator, you're the prey.
That's real.
So, that's the whole thing about these youngsters talking about checking in. Any intelligent man checks in.
That's real.
When I was coming to Dallas, I checked in with E. Man, I'm coming here. He introduced me to you.
Yes.
And he told me where not to go.
Exactly.
You understand me? Shout out to my fish trap homies.
Oh yeah.
Fish trap Pirus.
West Dallas.
They laced me down.
You got the rooster on there?
The rooster.
Okay. So explain the rooster to people.
That's Piru.
I know.
When it was a Piru, when they first started Piru, the Crips called us roosters.
Yeah.
And roosters are red, so this is how they assimilated being roosters.
Okay.
So now we deal with the power of the root.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
So someone in Texas, in West Dallas,
yes, sir,
made that for you.
Yeah, young Lee.
Shout out Young Lee, baby.
Yeah, currently him and his crew shot this to me with the A.
That's nice. That's embroidered. That ain't no vinyl.
Yeah, this ain't no lame shit.
That ain't no lame shit. That's some shit that's gonna last.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You just got that on this visit?
No, he sent it to me on about 2 months ago.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So, also, I heard that led one day you were at work, 2 stars walked in and an incident happened.
Yeah.
That opened some doors for you later on in life. Yes. You want to tell that story?
Well, Brandy and Reggie. Well, Brandy used to come to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle every Friday night after she got out of the studio, and we were in there one night, and some of the workers came and told me that they were sweating her in the. So we told dudes and they had to get out of the store, and they like, man, this is our neighborhood. We ain't got to go nowhere. You going somewhere?
Already.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So we commenced to get it cracking, and through that, brothers see like, bruh, y'all doing all this for $5 an hour?
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, we just standing our ground.
Yeah.
He said, man, you know Shaheed Muhammad? I'm like, yeah, that's my captain. He said, Shaheed Muhammad is one of the premier soldiers, rest in peace, of the West Coast. Built more men, the builder of men.
Okay.
Yeah, badass Shaheed.
So let's talk about this, because every time I'm hearing everything and I'm grabbing it in. Have you been Muslim all your life?
No.
When did you convert to Muslim?
My mother was a Catholic. My grandmother was a Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
My dad didn't give a fuck about neither one of them.
Yeah.
He like what he do is what he do.
Yeah, he believed in God, just no religion.
He gave me my education of the streets.
Okay.
That went through my father. I learned at 6, 7 years old, east and west, north and south. If we going down here and something happened to me, you got to know how to get back home. What's the name of this street?
Yeah, that's real.
We go to Edwards Air Force Base. This is east. This the sun comes up here. This the Big Dipper. This the Little Dipper. That's what my dad taught me.
Yeah.
You understand? When people talk about fathers, I was with my mother from 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was a mama's boy. After 5 and 6, 7 and 8, I started really dealing with my dad every weekend, going with him, going here, going there, hanging with him, seeing his demeanor.
Yeah.
My father used to take us every Friday downtown Los Angeles on Skid Row, on 6th and Main, 5th and Main. At that time in the 50s, the winos down there was white wino. Laying in the street, and they'd be smelling, and we'd be holding on to my dad's leg, and they'd be, Henry, can I give me a dime to get Shorty out of jail? I say, shit, Shorty went to jail for a dime? But they wanted to get wine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they was smoking cigarettes, and their fingers was black. And those your kids? You got some beautiful kids, Big Henry. And my father would pass out quarters to him, like, and then he would tell me, he'd say, Hoss, he said, you see these men? They didn't go to school. And they end up in the street. You see any black people over here? Where's niggas? Go to school, bro.
That's real.
And he 2 things I've never done, bro. Drink wine or smoke cigarettes. I never wanted to be a wino.
That's real. Huh.
You know?
Dad, I'm glad you had a male figure in your life to kind of guide you, because a lot of black men didn't at that time.
Yeah, we fell off. Crack took us out.
That was my next thing.
Crack took us
You remember before crack.
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. Crack
What was
took
that
it
like?
hard.
Come on, man.
Crack was an epidemic.
A big epidemic.
When I left, I went to prison in 79. I didn't get out till 90. And that whole epidemic, the 80 epidemic, came through and did away with black people. And it wasn't something that we made or created ourselves.
No.
When we made PCP, we didn't have to wait. We didn't have to ask a Mexican for no weed. We didn't have to ask a white boy for cocaine. $1,500, go over in that corner, you come back with 50,000. And white people start seeing black economics, closing the wealth gap.
Wow.
What was the thing about PCP? Niggas had superhuman strength.
Yeah, they did.
They don't want no nigga with strength.
No. No, I feel you. And PCP was Angel Dust was huge. What years would you say?
74 to 80. Then they start Ether Basin in 77, 78, 79.
Was powder ever a problem cocaine powder ever a problem in the black community?
Cocaine powder was a sophisticated drug.
Yes, a rich man's drug.
All the players and the hustlers, one finger up, and they would snort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Crack cocaine took your heart.
What year did it hit Los Angeles?
What?
Crack cocaine.
79, 80. After they started Ether Basin, then one day they started blowing a pipe.
Yeah.
And it went from all the way downhill. So you got 30 years of black kids not having a father or a mother.
Ripped the black community completely apart.
Ripped it apart. So now you got kids looking for instruction from each other.
Wow.
And you come back at, I'm 16 or 17 years old, and you've been gone, and you can't, and what you tell me, we're the only community, we're the only race of people ain't gave our kids nothing and criticize them.
Yeah.
What did you leave them? They can't be in the park. No. They don't have any movies to go to.
No.
They don't have any, they have to go share something with somebody else, like Christians share Jesus.
Wow. It's not the same as when we were kids. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, because now
no movie theaters.
We grew up in grace.
We did.
We had action.
We did.
Today is judgment. Everything you do today is your judged on. If you fuck over your kids, they're gonna fuck over you right now.
You right.
You know what I'm saying?
You right. You right.
It was a time, I don't care what your father and mother did, you never denounced them.
Hell no. You heard that? I say that all the time about the black community. I don't care if mama was a crackhead. That's what turned me off about Eminem. Soon as the first time I heard him diss his mama, I was like, what? In public? We don't do that in the black community. And so his lyrics or whatever, but that particular line turned my stomach on him. And because that was not how we were raised. And so,
but you can't say that's a white man. Yeah. And he was telling his truth about his white trailer trash mama.
Wow.
I love Eminem.
You do?
He say shit that you're not allowed to say.
You right about that?
And make millions doing it.
What would you call that? Racism.
Racism. Blatant racism. But see, there's two sides to racism.
Yep.
I'm racist because I love my race. I'm unapologetically black. Now, if somebody else, just like you said with Jesus, if they get it, good, but I didn't bring it to them.
I read it.
I didn't bring it to them. I brought it to them, these people here. So I'm 100% for my people, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. Me too, sir. I feel you on that.
You know,
I really feel you on that. I mean, that's what we need.
You know,
stand up strong brothers.
So we got to be, it's no way in the hell that I'm going to ever be scared of a kid. You hear these old, man, I don't mess with them youngsters.
Come on,
crazy.
Man.
Well, what the hell is you? If you kill me, you done kill the old man. But just think if I whoop your ass, you're going to look bad for the hood.
For sure.
This nigga put hands on you like that.
Yeah. You let the old man put hands on you? I heard you standing your ground on a certain situation. And I said,
that's how I was low for a minute because, you know, I had a bounty on my head. And,
yeah, I heard that.
And the bounty ended up, now he can't go nowhere. Well, he never could, actually. You know what I'm saying?
He sure can't come to Texas.
So, yeah, you know, him and Charlie, they'll hook up together. He can come to Texas. He can come. But he better not.
Very quietly.
He better not put it on Pyro.
I'm about to say very quietly. Very quietly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all that bushing and boasting. You know, it's just on the side of town that you come.
Exactly.
You know, because like you can come to California long as you stay north of Wilshire or go to the valley or go like Charlie did, go to Disneyland. The gangsters ain't coming out there.
Yeah, don't get in the mix though.
We territorial.
Exactly. You don't want to go out there with the woods and get caught up.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. So that situation that happened with Ray J and Brandy led, you said, brother
Shaheed Muhammad.
Shaheed Muhammad pulled you to the side. And
my first job was set it off with Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett.
Wow. Yes. So you didn't get put
$5 an hour to $18.
Oh shit!
Man,
you shit in hot cotton.
I was working 12, 15 hours a day.
Wow.
You know, me kick back. I was with Jada when Will first came to Jada's a trailer, and he asked me, "Bruh, what kind of perfume do Jada like?" And at the time, she was wearing Tom Mackey. She wore Mackey. The next day, he came up and gave me a whole basket full of Mackey stuff. So this is from Will. That's how they first hooked up.
That was the end, and you was a part of that.
I was a part of that.
Wow. History. That's a super tight exclusive. So you working at Set It Off, one of our culture's iconic movies, and you were, I bet you got a million stories like that, being in places that were just iconic moments.
Yeah, I was with after I left, I did Set It Off. I did Eraser with
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Williams.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Did Rosewood.
Oh,
and then I did Gridlock with Tupac.
Was Rosewood filmed in Florida or was it filmed?
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you did what with Tupac?
A Gridlock.
Okay.
Then I did Guns N' Roses with Bobby Brown. We did work with B. Brown and Whitney Houston. And then I went to, I was with Mike Tyson.
Oh, wow.
I worked with Mike, and I was in Vegas when Pac got killed.
So you're the first person that I've sat down with that actually knew Tupac. Okay. How was he as a person?
Real gentle dude. All the persona, I was just telling somebody about that the other day, that the persona and the showman you see and him whacking out, and he on the set, this dude is reading dictionaries, reading Cabrera Cabrans, Che Guevara, an avid reader, putting his stuff together. A real mild dude. Didn't like the police, so he had...
Why would he?
He had Frank Alexander, and I was just telling him, like, as long as everybody that the Nation of Islam covered in the rap business and through that era, we never lost one.
Never lost one.
And every time they left us, somebody died.
What do you think? They were trying to save money? Or it was an inside, like, influences trying to get y'all out of the way?
White America,
Oh, yeah.
And, Minister Farrakhan said he spoke to Kanye West and Kanye's and how we interpret stuff so literally. And when he said slavery was a choice, right?
Stupid.
That's okay. Now listen to you. Don't get your cart before your horse.
Go ahead. I'm
listening to him. He didn't say the people that they brought over here had a choice, right?
Okay.
But any nigga that takes $1 million contract and gets emasculated by white America, he had a choice whether he wanted to be a slave or not, huh?
That's right.
So here's a choice. When they made Oprah Winfrey a billionaire before they made a black man, slavery is a choice today. Today.
You think he was speaking of today's times or?
He said slavery is a choice.
Oh, he didn't specify.
He didn't say it was a choice. He said slavery is a choice. Now, when he took himself to emancipate himself as a slave, what did white America do?
Castrated his ass.
So he's the example of trying to be Kunta Kinte instead of Toby.
Yeah. Yeah, he put him right back in his place.
We talk about Kyrie Irving.
Talk on it.
And you say, but no Negro protest against Amazon that made the movie. They say after the thing with Kyrie Irving, their sales went up 75%. But did they give any of that money back to Black America?
No.
So y'all talk about who we got. Charlie walking around talking about, why ain't y'all protesting? You know Jerry Jones?
Yes.
He owned the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Exactly.
They just showed a picture of him in the 60s in his high school where they wasn't letting blacks in the school.
On the front line.
On the front line. So he ain't changed his racist attitude today. If you look at his stats, ain't no black in his top office.
Not one. Never has been.
Never has been.
And then you get on social media, you get the coons that'll say, well, he's made so many millionaires. But that's that slavery that you just got through talking about.
There you go. Freed slaves.
$1 million ain't nothing to a billionaire.
To a billionaire. And then how many millionaires is on that bench on football? It ain't but 3 or 4 people making $1 million in football.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole team of 22. It's some $40,000 niggas sitting there. So everybody in
ain't
sports
the star.
rich.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So that illusion We did some with Captain Shaheed. We was at the Lakers. Man, do you know we had to do so many collections from dudes borrowing money, and they wasn't able to pay it back?
Not having the money or just bad management skills? Not having the money.
Bad management skills because you give a Peckerwood the authority to take care of your funds. Ain't it crazy that you got an accountant and he tells you all this, and then you get an income tax evasion, but he don't go to jail, but you do.
That's wild. Yeah. And he did all the work for you.
He did everything. Yeah. I didn't know how to do it.
That's wild. I never thought about it like that. You're the professional. You're the expert.
Oh, well, you ain't got to pay this year. You made $3 million. We just slide off this year, and they wait 3 and 4 years, and like you owe us. What? He said, "Fuck that. You should have knew better.
You should have known the law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse," is what they used to say.
That's what they say.
So I heard you mention you were there the night Tupac passed. Well, not passed, that he got shot.
Yeah.
Talk us through that night. You remember the events, or where were you? Were you in?
And I was in the dressing room with Mike Tyson, Captain Shaheed Muhammad, Brother Curtis, our whole team when they came in and when they left. And next thing you know, we get a call.
I'm about to say, y'all didn't hear anything about what call did y'all get? The fight or the shooting?
The shooting.
Yeah.
You know. And
what was your thoughts?
It's in-house.
Ain't got nothing to do with you.
It has everything to do. I'm from Compton, but I'm saying it's in-house. It wasn't the brother that they claimed killed him. Bro, I say we territorial. And you from Compton. You don't know the back streets of Las Vegas. You ever been to Las Vegas?
Yes.
Have you ever been there on the weekend?
Yes.
Well, I just tell you about traffic. Back to back.
Oh, yeah.
Packed traffic. How do you think a car, just regular niggas, make a U-turn in front of the police and another car come up and shoot you and nobody sees nothing?
And then where they went? Or where did they go?
Where did they go? Just poof. But now after everybody did, we got a story.
So let me ask you this, because I hear everything you're saying. Are you telling me you believe that the person that they're putting out there right now as the killer, you don't believe he did that?
They ain't convicted him of it. They just put if I can tell a lie over and over again, you start thinking it's the truth, though.
Well, I'm saying, that person's dead now.
He dead. So blame it on the dead.
They're blaming it on the dead.
You know
so Keefe D saying that's
because he's a paid informant. He's going to tell whatever he wants him to tell him to keep him out of jail. His key man was Eric Paradin, who was a DA at the time, an associate DA, and then became the mayor of Compton. And he's a crook.
So his testimony shouldn't have been valid. Or they used him.
He didn't testify to nobody. That was just word of mouth. He wasn't in no courthouse.
Informant.
And he didn't put his hand on no Bible. Well, I'm allowing the Bible too, because I don't care nothing about King James version of the Bible. It ain't the truth. It's a version.
It's a version.
It don't tell you the truth.
No. That's somebody's truth.
You listen to the news. They don't say, we're going to tell you the truth today. We say, we're going to tell you the top stories.
It's real.
The top stories of the day. Don't make it the truth.
Don't make it the truth at all.
Okay. So we got to understand the difference between the truth and a story. I tell the truth, whether it's for me or against me.
I feel you.
I got more years behind me than I got in front of me. I done lived a treacherous life. I've been locked up with some of the most notable killers in California. Angela Bono, the Hillside Strangler. Bobby Joe Maxwell, Skid Row slasher, killed 33 people. Tookie Williams.
You know
what I'm saying? Bittaker. Kerbikovich, the alphabet bomber. Death Row Jeff, Mr. Jefferson started the SLA. Doc Holliday. I've been in the comforts of these dudes. You understand me? Joe Morgan, the white German, Peg Leg Joe, the head of the Mexican mafia, a white man. Died 1994. Tokyo, Steve Sagi, that was the head of the Aryan Brotherhood, a Jap out of Gardena.
Mm. So when you're in there with these people, outside of the white people, the Aryan Nation, did you ever have any conversations with any of them, or you were just incarcerated with them?
With Bono, Angela Bono, and Kubrikovich, I was with them daily. Most of the dudes in the hole you converse with, it's not no set tripping.
Okay.
I had a contract on me for what happened in Youth Authority. So I got stabbed 3 times. You know, I didn't put my dues, you know, but God pushed me through it. Wow. You know.
Amen.
Yeah.
So I also heard you mention a real powerful name, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
You did bodyguard work or security for Whitney Houston?
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was the best experience I ever had in working was Mike Tyson. That's one of the best.
We're gonna get there. That's I bet you it was.
That's one of the best details you could ever have. I mean, that brother there is generous. He's 100. He's a real solid, good-hearted brother and does for people. You know,
another person that the media painted in a bad way.
Yeah. But he had enough sense to keep his head down until he came back. Suge,
yes,
Suge Knight and Death Row.
What type of person was Suge in your eyes?
Arrogant, insecure.
From the start, or you think the money made him arrogant?
Money made him arrogant. He's insecure because Suge was never a gang member.
I know. I heard
he lived there. He lived in the neighborhood, but he was a good. This is how he hook up with Reggie, the police, and make him head of security. They grew up together.
A gangbanger wouldn't have never done that, huh? With the police.
No intelligent man would have.
I'm just hearing you say it and now it's resonating. I feel you now.
You know. So then your number one artist don't like police. So that's why when Pac, when we came off the detail, no, we're dealing with Reg and his people. But if you look at the incident, the only 2 people that Pac relied on, they shook them and left them at the casino, and this stuff happened.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Almost like orchestrated.
Most definitely. So by the same token, the same person that was there at the time when Pac got killed, head of security, he was on the same scene with when Biggie got killed.
Now back up, say that again.
The same person, the head of security for Death Row.
Okay, what's his name? Can you mention his name?
Reggie.
Reggie, okay. Reggie Wright.
And so he was there. And so when Biggie gets killed, he's there.
He's also there.
So I know for a fact that Poochie didn't kill Biggie.
Ooh.
I know for a fact.
And I've seen several videos where he flat out says Poochie did that.
Yeah. So me and Captain Shaheed was at the Nico Hotel in the atmosphere that Biggie wasn't even supposed to be here.
Oh, I don't remember.
Now, when Shaheed walks up to Puffy, say, Puff, if you need us, 2 white police detectives, Shaheed Muhammad, yeah, we're so-and-so from Central Division. We got this. Now, Puffy had security, but Biggie didn't. How'd that happen?
The asset is just out there with no security.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that don't make sense.
So now he get popped with 2 police and all these others are supposed to be around him. But he's not secured. But now when Biggie get killed,
Puffy blows up.
All the way up. Pac get killed, she'll go to the grave.
Oh yeah. You
understand me? So,
it was a lot of incidents that happened. So Suge had nothing to benefit from killing Tupac.
But Pac was collateral damage. And he could have been part of the scene, but they thought that they could manage him better without Suge. Now that's me saying I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Now, by the same token, what brought me out here to Texas, Charlie said something about Montreal.
Okay.
Buntry is Mob James'
Mob
brother.
James' brother. Mm-hmm.
And he got killed. But when he got killed, Reggie was with him.
Mm.
And they try to allege that Poochie didn't kill Montreal.
Poochie is deceased as well.
As well.
Okay. So they're telling all these dead people that can't.
Dead people.
Mm.
And you keep telling a lie enough, I'll start believing it.
Well, that's come on now.
You know?
That's life.
So we talk about what happened and who was there allegedly. So those are the things that you have to look for is the hidden elements.
Yeah. You need to be wise enough to recognize it.
And that's the problem with Black America. We stay asleep.
Now, Mike Tyson was your best detail. I take it you don't want to talk about Whitney Houston.
I mean, what
well, no, I just saying, how was it? Was it a good detail? Was it fun?
I mean, it was fun for me.
Okay.
Because I took care of the kids.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes,
Bobby Christina.
Princia, Bobby's daughter, and little Tommy.
Yeah.
So I don't deal with grown folks like that. I get a gang of money, take them to the arcade. Whitney met my mother. She's
nice lady.
She's a Leo.
Mm.
That lion.
The lion.
That lion.
I heard she was a firecracker.
She was something else. Allegedly, and I knew her downfalls, knew the things that happened with her.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody believed or tried to illustrate that her downfall was Bobby.
I never thought that.
He never was. And then when she stopped messing with Bobby, she started messing with Ray J and other little dudes, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's going down. So allegedly a statement was made by one of her handlers, Clive Davis, said that she was more valuable to him dead than she was alive.
He benefited from her passing away.
$50 million. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So after her death, he was at the after party like they was kicking it, and how did that ain't her get out.
Yeah.
That's not her drugs of choice.
Mm.
And then when her daughter was supposed to get a certain amount of something, and they didn't like the way she was living, and she died the same way with her mother a year later.
Wasn't that strange?
No, that ain't strange.
Well,
that's orchestrated.
I mean, it was too much of a coincidence, in other words.
And blacks don't talk about that.
No, they sure don't.
How
did that happen like that?
Because she
orchestrated.
She was worth more dead than she was alive.
The daughter?
Yeah. Now I ain't got to give her nothing either.
Oh, yeah. Just cut her out. So the little kid that tried to blame it on her boyfriend really had nothing to do with it unless he was just a pawn.
Hey, he didn't go to prison for it, huh? They talked about it.
Yeah.
Now is he still alive?
I don't know.
You never heard no more about him.
Yeah, he could have been a pawn in the whole play, in the whole plot.
Let's see if he's still living.
Yeah, for real. Ooh, you've had a life. Still living. Still rolling. Yeah, right. So we talked about Whitney Houston. We talked about Mike Tyson. We're not going to talk about these dudes here in Dallas. Tall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I don't want to give them no energy.
Yeah.
No energy.
Yeah. I worked for Blackground Records, and I was working with Blackground when Aaliyah passed.
Really? Mm-hmm. What's the uncle named Hankerson?
Barry Hankerson.
Barry Hankerson.
I did a personal for Barry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he a good person or just a?
No, just a stingy nigga.
Stingy nigga too.
Yeah. Just we do everything for a bitch, won't do nothing for you.
Everybody has something to benefit by someone passing away.
Yeah. So he was. I think he got like $90 million for Aaliyah's death. Went over to a hotel and kicked back, and he talked to Aaliyah's mother, who was in New York.
So is Barry Hankerson Aaliyah's mother's brother?
Yes.
Okay. I was just trying to remember. And you knew him personally?
Did a personal for him.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So you, after that, you continue relationships with these people?
No, I'm just a worker. I ain't a friend.
Not friend, but business relationship.
No, I got my
Once the job is done, it's done.
It's done.
Already. So what's your next moves?
Yeah, we are. Antoine Doolittle is a brother out of y'all state, out of Texas. Was unfortunately a misguided young black brother that went into a mall to steal some bomber jackets, and they came out of the mall being chased by the people out of Foot Locker. When they jumped in the car, a guy by the name of Michael Levy, a white man, took it upon himself as Superman to stop him, tried to break the window out, opened the car, and took the keys from them. And they got out of the car and asked him, man, just give us the keys. They had already threw the coats. Sammy had threw the coat, Charlie threw the coats out the window. So they asked, man, just give us our keys. Michael Levy told him, we're not giving you nothing until the police come. Good shot, man. That man is on point.
Fast, too, ain't he?
And he fast. My kind of man.
There you go.
Yeah, so allegedly, Antoine went back to the car and Charlie gave him a gun and he shot Michael Levy, killing him. They arrested them. They arrested Charlie first. He testified again, told who it was, told the police where the gun was, made a deal with the police that he testified against Antoine Doolittle. And Antoine was 15 at the time, turned 16. And he's in 2003, Michael Levy's sister allegedly said she forgave Antoine Doolittle and that she didn't have any problem with him being released. But every time he goes to board, Charleston White claims he goes to board and that Antoine ain't gonna never get out. And
what?
Antoine ain't gonna never get out. He said, I'm gonna keep him there forever. So I feel like we talked to Antoine. This brother been down 42 years. He's 57 years old from 15.
So hold on. What part of Texas is that? Do you remember that happened in?
In Fort Worth.
So this is a Fort Worth. This is a metroplex.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the man that shot Hinckley, he shot Ronald Reagan in 1980. This white man.
Yeah.
He's on the street right now for shooting the president.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Guess where he's from?
Where?
Highland Park.
Oh, what? Hinckley
blew your mind.
Blew my mind.
So you see them ties?
So yeah. So
guess where George Bush lived?
Where?
Highland Park.
I didn't know that. I'm from Compton. See how slow we are? Whole thing. That's what. See, that's
we crazy. You ain't slow it out.
But see, that's the show you the misconception about the South.
Yes.
People on the West Coast, Southern California, say everybody in the South is slow, right? So how are you slow when you wake up 2 hours before we do?
We should get the news first, huh?
Shit, I'm still asleep while you robbing banks. You done put all yours in by the time I get up with my country ass.
You say that you being nice, but I know them I've had some California women come down here and call us Bammers.
Bammers, yeah.
Yeah, y'all Bammers. How y'all like these Bama women? I'm like, that's what we grew up with.
Hey,
we love our Texas women.
Hey, fresh. Everything you got on is put on.
You real with that? You got to go home now. You got to go home now, Marv.
Hey, I'm on single cell status. I don't care.
You don't give a damn. Huh?
What?
I feel you.
Man, roll with me. So we had some attorneys out here in Texas, some coons that started off with this, and I guess they scared of Charlie or scared of white folks. Man, ain't nothing we can do. It's no such thing as ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing. Anything can be fixed.
So money can get anything.
Yes.
So we got 25 on our end.
Okay.
So I got an attorney I was telling you about with Ray Sauce and Percy Foreman, Richard Cobb. one of the baddest white attorneys in Houston.
Yeah.
For 75, he can free him.
So for 75, he can get up out of there.
He can get up out of there. So
we
if each of y'all just sent $1.
Yeah, man, come on now.
$1.
He served his time. How many years? 40?
42. So I mean, on Dominican Passion, brother was raised up in the projects. He was already crazy.
Yeah.
He wasn't under the same circumstances as the good old white America.
That's real.
This brother had PTSD before he was 5.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Post-traumatic stress syndrome. We all had it.
We all had it.
I didn't have it. I grew up and got it. I earned it. You know what I'm saying?
Feel you.
But yeah, just Gangster Legal at $ Gangster Legal on Cash App.
Okay.
Legal consultants, Melvin Farm and Ayatollah Marv.
Okay.
And anybody that needs any legal help other than a pedophile or a rapist.
What'd I say? What'd I say?
Other than a pedophile or a rapist, I ain't helping y'all.
They can die in jail.
You know what I'm saying? So it's some people got some cases you really don't even. So I tell people all the time that it ain't just important playing the game. You got to know the rules.
Yeah.
If you don't know the rules, every time the referee want to say a penalty, you don't know what to say.
Mm.
But when you know the rule and know he didn't miss it, you throw up that yellow flag, partner. We got to talk about this.
Wow.
You know, I was in prison, and it really, really amazed me that dudes be in prison with life sentences, and you ask them, who was the judge that said, I mean, I don't know that white man. Who was that's somebody putting a gun in your head, and you don't know who shot you. But you know everything that Michael Magic Johnson did.
All the stats.
You know all of his stats. And he ain't sent you my team. You ain't never been to a game.
Mm.
But we put so much emphasis on sport and play instead of our progress. So I'm just appealing to Texas to help us out. You know?
That's real.
Like, free one. See, if Black Lives Matter, this is a real life.
Put your money where your mouth is.
All that other bullshit about, a George Floyd, everybody profited off of Black Lives Matter, but black people.
It's real.
Gays profit, Asians profited. But what did Negroes get? We still getting killed.
Every day.
But the state Supreme Court went and said something about it's against the law to batter Asians. Okay. Well, when Negroes gonna get one of this? We fought
Asian hate.
Man, look, do you realize how backward we are?
We totally backwards, bro.
We've been in every war since the landing of the Plymouth Rock. Lost blood, lost lives. We done fought in every war from the Civil War to every other war, Desert Storm. And out of 50 states, we ain't got one. That's bad economics.
Bad.
Well, our brother said that black folks don't want to be free. We just want white folks to like us.
They said the worst thing ever happened to black folks was with desegregation. Integration.
When we lost segregation, when we were segregated, they had their own schools.
Yep.
They had their own stores. And then when they integrated, they gave you nothing and took everything.
We were satisfied with just being able to walk through the front door, huh?
Just satisfied. And Minister Samad in the Nation, he was saying that he was from Little Rock, Arkansas, and the black school that he went to. And he said when he thought integration would be like Christmas, he said because the white football field looked greener than they field, and white water was colder than their water.
They were satisfied.
And say when he got to the school, they had to sit in the back and they never got to go to the field. And they made them drink out of a water hose.
You know why? You know why? Because Jerry Jones was on the front line blocking their ass.
Jerry Jones was there.
On the front line blocking.
Come on, Jerry Jones.
Come on, bro.
Out of the billions, the 17 blacks that tried to go to school, you never made amends to them.
Not an apology or anything.
Give him a couple of $1,000.
You know what he said?
You got it?
I was curious.
I was curious.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Curiosity killed the cat.
Come on.
Satisfaction brought it back.
Hey, Bars.
So help
that's a
us
serious
out.
subject. Yeah, help out, man.
Help us out. Help us out. Anybody, just $1. Youngsters, just don't smoke a blunt today. Just cash out $1. $1, you can free a black man.
$75K will get this man out of jail. He's 25 in. All we need is 50.
That's all we need.
All we need is 50. Everybody needs to participate.
We give in at everything else. We get a March of Dimes. We give the cerebral palsy. A girl asked me the other day, we want to stop children's cancer. Well, what you got, the Shriners for? St. Jude's. They want to stop cancer. They can stop cancer if they want. Why they need them? Because when you donate, your donation is paying their administration. They don't get but 1/3 of the profits of anything that go to the medical field.
Wow.
1/3. Look at Jerry's kids. Jerry, you don't know nothing about
Come on, yes I do. Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
On,
he became almost a
the telethon. The telethon.
Telethon.
I remember.
March of Dimes.
March of Dimes. I remember that. Come on now. I'm with you.
A scam.
All of it's a scam.
A scam.
It's a money grab.
That's what it is.
Question. I'm going to throw you for a loop and see if you can help me out, kind of draw a picture for me, since you're from California, Los Angeles area, Compton. You, in 2007, you were in California?
Yes, sir.
You ever heard of the Mondrian Hotel?
Mondrian.
You ever been inside that hotel?
Yes.
My best friend passed away in that hotel.
Oh, get out of here.
There he is right there. It was big news.
Right, yeah.
Do you remember that day on
No.
the news? You don't remember that, huh?
That's
Pimp C.
Yeah. I remember, yeah.
That's,
at the Mondrian, because when right around the corner from the is what's the name of the hotel? L'Hermitage. L'Hermitage is when Barry found out he got the insurance. We went over to the L'Hermitage.
Oh, so you were close to that hotel?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Mondrian. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't talked to too many people that actually are from California.
Right.
Since 2007.
Right.
Know.
Pimp C. Yeah.
I just want to know what the feel of the city was. Because we felt it strong here, man.
Okay.
Well,
he wasn't from Compton, so I mean,
I know.
It was just the news report came up. We got people dying every day.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So for Pimp C died. Whoa, okay. Oh, he had a heart attack or something?
No, he was he suffered from sleep apnea.
Okay.
And he had been drinking some of that syrup. Sleep apnea stops your heart. Syrup slows your heart down. Right. So when his heart stopped, the syrup prevented it from starting back. Oh. So it was an accidental death.
Right. Okay.
So it was not an overdose. And no, everybody tries to say it was an overdose, but read the coroner's report. You know. So you always talking about the truth. Yeah. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like to entertain all these lies and shit like that. So
dudes, they be dying so quickly in California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
So we become callous to death.
Why is it like that, man? Because let me tell you something that I've always said. In the United States, it's 3 cities and states that I say are totally different worlds. California, New York, and Louisiana. Why is California just that? I mean,
you got to understand. Louisiana, everybody in Louisiana is from Louisiana.
Yes. California is a transit state. Got you.
We got people from everywhere. You can find a little piece of Dallas when you go to Pasadena. You go to Louisiana, you go to Watts, Compton, Mississippi. Everybody got their culture. You go over to Chinatown.
Yes.
And you got Little Tijuana. You got Little Armenia, Little Bogandisha. Everybody brings their culture to California.
Wow.
But in that, your heart ain't from there. We were born there.
Yeah. But I heard you say your mom's from Mississippi.
Jackson.
So you got Mississippi ties.
My father's from Mississippi also.
Okay, so you got Mississippi tie roots.
No.
Well, if they were from there.
That's their problem.
Come on, Marv. Marv, you got people still there.
Okay, you know him?
You don't know him?
I ain't trying to learn him either.
So when you went through Mississippi, you say you came to Houston and you didn't look up your peoples?
Well, my grandmother's passed.
Oh, so it wasn't, okay, that was the only
And
one.
my uncles, they all passed. I mean, the last time I was down there was in 79.
Gotcha.
You know, the people that's down there, most of my father's brothers came to California.
Okay.
Or they went to Detroit.
Okay.
And we got some relatives in Vicksburg, like my nephews. They're from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Okay.
But they were from California, and they moved to Tupelo. So my nephews were Ray Shrimmer, Sway Lee, and Slim Jimmy.
Those are your relatives?
Yeah, my nephews.
Really?
Really?
You know who he talking about? That's weird. Have you ever met him?
I be with them all. Man, yeah.
I mean, do you still do security work?
Hell no.
I
don't do no more babysitting.
Okay. When'd you leave that alone?
When I left the Mike Tyson detail, I got caught up and went to the feds for a year.
Okay.
I lost that detail. Then I came out, like I said, I was working with Barry Hankerson and Black Ground Records.
Okay.
And I got an artist through Captain Shaheed Muhammad and Tony Hustle out of New Jersey.
Tony Hustle.
Sexy, Freakily Electric. And I started doing personal managing for Warner Brothers.
Okay.
So I went to Warner Brothers. And so then I've been just freelancing.
Already.
So now I'm with, we have a conglomerate called the Black Unicorn Factory.
Okay.
You ever heard of unicorn stock?
No, tell me about it.
Okay. Unicorn stock is a term that came up first let me give you the rundown. So people tell you, well, man, President Obama ain't done nothing for blacks, right? When President Obama became in office, the nappy-head Negroes, Coons, and Possums, the NAACP, the Nation of Islam, Bloods, Crips, every black should have went and told the CIA and the FBI, this our nigga, we got him. Him and Michelle survived the White House for 8 years. They couldn't even have sex because everything was under surveillance. And he survived it. He came up in 2014 with a thing called the Jobs Act.
Okay.
When a Negro hear jobs, we run like hell. Nobody want to work.
Nobody, lazy.
So jobs is jumpstarts private businesses.
Okay.
President Barack Obama went to the Senate and said, I want to close the wealth gap. Black America has been on the bottom of the economic food chain since we've been here. And today, we're still on the bottom of the economic food chain. Every black organization, every black neighbor, we had Black Wall Street in 1921. And they burned it down. And God turned around and made 1929 the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And it took Wall Street down.
Yeah.
In 1932, Franklin Delaware Roosevelt started what they called the New Deal.
I remember that.
Only thing you know about the New Deal is Social Security.
Yeah.
But his New Deal, he gave $2 billion to Wall Street to crank it back up.
A bailout.
So in 1933, these Peckerwoods came up with a thing called the SEC. The Securities and Exchange Commission was the stock police. And so since blacks, they didn't want another black Wall Street, they put a restriction that you had to have $2 million to get any stocks from Wall Street or make $250,000 a year in 1933. We don't make that today.
No.
Or have a millionaire introduce you. So all this time, we've had all these restrictions. President Barack Obama in the Jobs Act says we're knocking down all those restrictions.
Wow.
And he said, go tell my people, right? But when they made the Jobs Act law and wrote the book, in chapter 7, it said, tell the minorities. That don't make you black, huh?
No.
Homosexual, this is the first time you hearing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's 2015.
Here we are in 2023, damn near.
So now in
8 years later.
2016, they had these things called unicorn stock. WhatsApp is a unicorn stock. Facebook is a unicorn stock. Grubhub is a unicorn stock. Any private IPO that becomes $1 billion business becomes unicorns.
Okay.
They said they only find 340 unicorns in the world a year, right? So they coined the term unicorn stock.
Okay.
Unicorn stock is the only stock that you can get 1,000 times your investment, right?
Damn.
Unicorn stock. So one of my buddies, Johnny Stewart, big Johnny Stewart, was in the feds. And he called me in 2013. He says, Marv, man, President Barack Obama get ready to do something big. I'm from Compton. I'm a non-believer.
Yeah, yeah.
So he telling me this, and all the time he's keeping me up on it. And I, one ear out the other.
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening to him, but I ain't studying this shit. 2020, Johnny Stewart called me in March. He said, Marv, he said, are you ready? I said, am I ready? He said, yeah. He said, we get ready to crank up. I said, what? He had a 12-year sentence. He was one of 75 people in Terminal Island Federal Prison that didn't have coronavirus. And they sent him home on a house arrest.
Wow.
And he said, we getting ready to crank up the black unicorn. He says, we don't have to find a unicorn. I'm going to show you how to make them. Leave it to a black man.
Oh, yeah.
So our first 16 businesses, my business is Potts Grove Farm. I have a virtual cannabis business.
Okay.
And in the sticker, we use people instead of money.
Okay.
If you have $1 million and spend $1, you're not a millionaire no more.
No, you should not.
But if you get 1 million people and can use 1 million loyal people, you can use them over and over and over again.
So endless resources.
So 1 million people makes us a unicorn.
Got you.
So we have a thing called Follow Me for Equity. If you follow my Potts Grove Farms or the Black Unicorn Factory, when you follow us, you get $150 worth of stock in our company. If you follow me for 1 year, 13 months, you'll make $180,000 worth of stock in my company. In 16 months, you can cash out. But if you stay with me for 24 months, when I go public, your $180,000 will be $1,800,000.
So how did they do that?
Just go to pottsgrovefarms.com, go down to the video, look at the video, subscribe to Potts Grove Farm, and we own and pop it.
Just subscribe.
Just subscribe. Don't cost you a dime.
Y'all hear that?
Don't cost a dime.
Now, this is a classical case of leading the horse to water. He's giving y'all the water. And you're talking about how the economy is bad, what the man ain't doing for you. This is some way that you can help yourself. And it'll take you, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to fill it out?
Man, the cannabis industry last year made $167 billion.
Come on, get a piece of that.
Now, in 2025, less than 2 years from now, in 2025, it's estimated the cannabis business will make $960 billion. Now, when Potts Grove Farms, when we make 1% of $960 million, you know how much money that is?
Talk with me.
$96 million. With $96 million, every person that follows me will get a check for $2,500,000. That's at 1%. Just think when we make 3%.
So you better leave your money in.
About $960 billion. I'm a virtual cannabis business. I don't sell any weed. Have you ever heard, you old enough, you ever heard of Cisco and Ebert?
Yes.
They were
the movie critics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started off in the LA Times talking about, and they started talking so much they gave them a whole TV show.
I remember.
And if they said thumbs up on your movie, it went everywhere.
Man, let me tell you something. I used to live by what Siskel and Ebert said.
And they never complimented a black movie. I do critical analysis on every dispensary there is and growers. So right now, one of the biggest dispensaries is Planet 13 in Las Vegas. They call it the Walmart of cannabis.
Okay.
Now, if I got 50,000 people for 1 month to say thumbs down on Planet 13, it won't put them out of business, but it'll hurt it, huh?
Yeah.
So they got to do one or two things, either destroy me or work with me, huh?
Exactly.
And so you know what they're going to do? The next time you see my podcast, you'll see Planet 13 stuff there.
You've already solidified that?
Man, this is in the works.
Already. Congrats.
It's already done.
Congrats, brother.
Let it be said, let it be done.
Let it be done.
You know?
Already.
So we starting off at nothing, but we all the way up.
I'm going to write that down.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I'm subscribing. You subscribing, Kenny? Done dealer.
PottsGroveFarms.com.
Come on, man. This is a black man, black brother. We need to, come on, man. We need to get behind each other. This is what we need in the black community.
No, we need to get in front of each other. See, behind me don't work.
Speak on it.
Because if you behind me, I got to look back at you.
Can't trust them.
And if I'm looking back, I'm going to get swung on.
Well, hell, we need to walk together.
Be up in front of me. We better do this.
Yeah, let's do it together.
You know what I'm saying? Let's start off. Let's free Antoine.
Flip it around. Flip it around.
Yeah.
Flip it here. I hold it.
Yeah, let's free Antoine.
Yeah, man, y'all check this out.
Help us.
Y'all get that on there?
$sign gangster legal. $gangster legal. $1 a due. Cash app us.
So, brother, we can help. 42 years in the penal system.
Right.
Get this man out of jail.
That's what we can do.
Come on, you heard the circumstances of his case. Y'all can look up the circumstances of his case. Google has everything. Everything is public knowledge now.
That's right.
Y'all can go check that out. Make your own decisions. It's millions and millions and millions of people out there.
But let me say this, bro.
Go ahead.
That's the problem with Negroes. We're opinionated. Follow instructions.
Yes. Do this.
Fuck your opinion.
Yeah. Give $1, man.
You give everything else.
Like you say, that one blunt, don't smoke that one blunt today. Give $1. Give $1. Get this man out of jail, man.
Because it may be you one day.
You might need that $1. Come on. Everybody doing GoFundMe's when you get buried, car washes when you get buried, all that old shit.
So let's deal with the living.
Yeah, let's deal with the living, man.
We do all this stuff for dead folks.
For real. More, you got to drop one of them gems before you go for the youth. Because you seen some shit in your life. Just give some knowledge.
The best thing that I can do is to tell everybody and anybody, don't make excuses, make solutions. We all have an excuse. Why this didn't happen and my mama didn't like me and my mama didn't. But make the solution, make a difference.
That's real.
You hear all these old people telling you about the problem. Let's deal with solutions. And once we have a solution, we ain't gonna have no more problems.
That's real. Now, but last thing, we kept it all positive pretty much the whole interview. I got one question to ask you because you're a public figure now. Somebody had a statement to say about you, and I just want to get your take on it.
Okay.
I don't know the gentleman, but I believe his name is Gangster Williams, made a statement about the contradiction of you being Piru and Muslim.
That's not a contradiction.
Talk on it. Speak your truth.
It is the truth. My truth is I tell a lie.
Okay.
I lie daily. You understand me?
What tell the truth?
They say, what's the use in the truth if you don't tell a lie sometime?
Already.
But I'm going to tell you, it's no contradiction in, I heard he made the statement that if you can't serve two gods.
Yeah.
Piru is a business. Piru ain't nobody God. And you have to be retarded or in a bubble if you take it as a god. That's just like a Muslim going to working in a factory and they selling pork in the factory. Is he supposed to just stop working?
No.
But pork is haram in Islam.
I know.
Alcohol is haram. So if you're working in a liquor store, you're supposed to stop working because this is a devil society. The shaitan runs this. So when you talk about, this is the same man, he said he's a Sunni Muslim.
Yeah.
Following the Sunnah path. Prophet Muhammad said 7 generations after me won't even be of me. So you following some Jews. You ain't stood up in the nation. Black people got a whole different problem. If Muslims were so see, Iraq, Cairo, Egypt, all of them places, they grew up under Islam, Sharia rule. They grew up as Muslims. Friday prayer, everything stops in their country. Nobody moves. They close the door and they go to Jumu'ah prayer. And here we have a different set of circumstances. We grew up thinking that a rabbit laid eggs. We believed in the good tooth fairy. We had so many lies that we didn't know the truth. So they say the truth shall set you free.
That's what they say.
Minister Wazir, I was 14 years old. I went to the Nation of Islam. My father had just died. And the brothers brought me in. And Minister Wazir says that a black man is God. I'd never heard that before. I went to Catholic school, like I said. They said Saint Martin de Porres, a black saint, didn't get a sainthood until 1959. So a nigga ain't in heaven until 59?
That's a lie. That's what they teach you.
So here we are barring some we wretches, this and that. The white man made the Bible.
Didn't he?
And when he made the Bible, he made it in this term: treat your Lord as your God. Massa. I was explaining to a dude, King James fell out with the Pope of Rome. And they had not a misunderstanding, but they had a debate. And the Pope told him, man, we don't do no divorces. So King James told him, well, I'm putting y'all out. I'm getting rid of your religion. So he started Episcopalians. And he got 24 scribes and wrote King James version of the Bible.
Yes.
Not the Gothic Bible. So he outlawed Catholicism in England. The Wales and the Scottish that wanted to go with Catholicism became protesters. Now they're Protestants. Right?
Yeah.
So now, even when he has this Bible, Catholicism in King James fell all the way out. Had a war called the Crusades for 300 years. So why, when the Catholics found the use of King James version of the Bible, they don't use the Gothic Bible anymore. They use the enemy's Bible.
The King James.
So if they won't treat you right, they ain't gonna teach you right.
Amen.
So bruh is saying what youngsters are, man.
He said you confusing the people.
Confusing youngsters. Man,
they already confused.
Jaye is a gang member. Captain William was a gang member. Lebo Muhammad. These are all pushing Islam in California. Michael Muhammad. All of these I see them come into the nation with Captain Shaheed Muhammad in the 90s, confused. And they but they don't deny their neighborhood. Minister Farrakhan says some of my strongest soldiers are still in the street.
Wow.
I didn't get, nobody jumped me in Pyru. It was a business. I was selling PCP.
It was a
the
business.
nation that fell is still a business.
Already.
The oldest living active Pyru gave me a status that I never had before. I was good in my neighborhood. Now I got people walking up to me. Man, OG, yeah, I like what you're doing. What am I doing?
Living your life.
So everybody, brother can have an opinion, but he ain't never stood up in the Nation of Islam. He never fought for his people. I don't know who he is, but I understand he said that he was a Sunni Muslim.
I heard him.
So if he's a Sunni Muslim, you ain't never been in the Nation of Islam. You ain't never fought for your people. See, you talk about the Sunnah path and that all you need is the Quran. I can show you some crackheads in LA that can recite Arabic and all the other, but they don't have the discipline.
They just know it.
They know it. And in the Quran, it says it's like a donkey carrying books. He carrying them, but he don't know them, huh?
That's real.
So you can do all the 5 prayers a day, and you can quote the Quran. But if you ain't out liberating your people, you ain't doing shit.
You ain't doing none of the works.
You know? So when you get on and start unconfusing yourself, young brother, and asking me about who am I confusing, I done brought more in than I done took out.
Already. That's beautiful. That's a hell of a statement.
You know? So yeah, I brother told me that some brother said that I was confusing the people. Well, somebody gonna be confused anyway.
Someone born confused.
So it stands to reason now that he's confused.
Yeah, sound like it.
He's confused and uncomfortable on what I'm doing, and I don't wish him the best. You know what I'm saying?
You won't wish him the worst either.
I probably.
Oh, wow.
That's on him. He made his bed, he can fall in it.
Yeah, he made a statement about you that was untrue.
I mean, it was his truth.
Yeah.
That's his truth, so that's his lie.
Wow.
So, you know, you got the president of the United States. He don't say I ain't a Protestant. But he's still the president, huh?
Exactly.
You got gang members that go to church and believe in Jesus. You see all these dudes with the cross on
all the time.
Dead heads and dead lives. The only thing that's logical with a cross is a church for dead souls and a graveyard for dead bodies.
Wow.
That's what a cross symbolizes.
Yeah.
So I rock the Nation of Islam, the Star and the Crescent.
Yes, sir.
That's what it do. The Star and the Crescent all the time. It don't stop.
It don't stop.
Huh?
Since age 14, you say?
Since age 14.
That's real.
It's a way of life.
Hmm.
I did my bow tie work. The Nation of Islam is so functional. We are killers. It's some of us that are just straight killers in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But you learn the humility of your people. With a bean pie, you stand there and a dude come and say, man, I eat salami. You understand me? I eat pork. Hell with you, nigga. And he don't know he could get his throat cut.
By that person he telling it to.
Yes, sir, bro.
You don't know who he's telling it to.
You don't know who he talking to.
Mm.
We ain't soft, but we don't turn no cheeks. We're not no cheek turning Muslims.
Already. That's real.
So the nation shows you the humility, put you in the hood with your people. We don't go to Westwood and push in what they Nickerson Gardens, Jordan Downs. Push the program.
Already. That's what
Captain Shaheed used to be so tough. He'd go in the park back in the day. He'd roll up in the park and say, who can fight the worst here? Who got best head? What you mean, who got the best head? Well, if I knock you out, can you and your homeboys come to the Mars? What you say? Bam, put them out, put them in the car and roll them on in.
That's real.
And they stayed.
And they stayed.
Because, man, one thing about a kid, he's looking for strength.
He is.
Everybody want to be disciplined. I don't care what you tell. You can't tell me nothing. Yes, you can. If I can't tell you nothing, why you run when the police come?
They told you something. For real. That's real. You scared of something.
You scared of something. False advertisement, but you scared of something.
That's man, you dropping some dimes, bro.
You know, so, you know, the best to the brother and his walk, you know, and when he gets in the nation, we can discuss the life. As long as you're out here with these hypocrites, don't come at me, bro. I'm not the one. I am, but I'll be in Texas, and I accept all fades.
Already. Man, I sure appreciate you coming, man.
Yes, sir.
You gave a hell of an interview. Yeah. Kenny, you like that? Yeah. You got some game, huh? Yeah. See, Kenny's from Belize.
From Belize, okay.
Yeah, so he's getting a lot of knowledge.
We had some soldiers from Belize. Minister Farrakhan had a men's meeting November the 6th. Oh. And some of the brothers from the nation from Belize was there.
Yeah. How was that?
Man, from brother Hillary, them from London, England, from France. Ooh. Men, it was a call that Minister Farrakhan called.
How many showed up?
About 10,000, 15,000.
Ooh, you heard that?
Black men.
Powerful meeting.
Powerful meeting.
Have you ever, this is my last question because you just opened the door. I don't know next time I'm going to see you. You shaking Minister Farrakhan's hand before?
Yes, sir. My son had the honor. He was like 6, my son, Juma, and we were in South Carolina, and Captain Shahid took my son, and he sat on the lap of the God, sat on the lap. And I'm like, I ain't never sat on nobody's lap.
And your son was 6?
No, he was about 8 at that time.
Oh, wow.
You know, he's about 8 at that time.
Yeah, good enough to remember.
Yeah.
Old enough to remember.
Yes, sir.
That's an impressionable thing to happen in your life.
Yeah. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You just gave me some. That's wild. People like that deserve they respect, man.
You know, yeah. That brother puts you just to be around him gives you an inspiration of life. That this brother didn't put in work, not just.
I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, just man, he's dynamic. I mean, just be around him. But come to Savior's Day in February, you'll meet him.
Savior's Day in February.
February the 26th.
Is it in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Okay.
In the snow. Come on out. You know?
In the snow. And it's cold. That's wintertime.
It's wintertime.
Say, man, I sure appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. I got a real super tight guest today, man. I told Marv, bro, and you have, like I said, I appreciate everything you've been doing. You say you've lived a treacherous life, but I know you got, a good heart. I might not know you, but I'm sitting here talking to you. You don't seem to be a bad brother. You seem to try to push the right agenda and educate the black people, the black man, and I can respect that, and I love that about you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Man, and I just want to tell you that you are a super tight guest.
Hey, it's your girl Jazzy K from Super Tight TV. We want to thank everyone who's been watching and subscribing, and if you enjoy this content, please hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video.
Know I'ma get some game tuned in with super tight. Yeah, I get the low from Big Bobo from the front seat, not no photos.